Oh, shit. We're going from trash to more trash.
This
Jesus.
is the epitome of a garbage can.
Yeah.
The Houston Texans, we've talked lengths about Deshaun Watson. That is the obvious headline with this team, his scandal and whatnot, and we're not going to talk about too much of that other than we have no idea how it's going to play out. It's unlikely he's playing this year. So that team loses all relevance right there. He masks a lot of their weaknesses. There is a QB battle going on right now. Tyrod Taylor versus Davis Mills. It's likely going to be Taylor to start the year, but I'm sure they're going to want a sneak peek at what Davis Mills can do.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The other thing is, first of all, I'm happy they hired David Culley as the head coach. It's a shame he's walking into a dumpster fire. It's
literally a dumpster fire.
I mean, you remember him from the Eagles. I think you met him.
Yeah, I met him.
He was there when you were there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best guys you'll meet in the NFL. He is very knowledgeable, and all of the players love him. I actually think he can have success as a head coach. I just don't know if this was the right opportunity. And honestly, for him, as a guy who's been around the league for so long, this might have been his only opportunity. So he took it, rightfully so. And if they rebuild after a Watson trade or whatever, he's got the reins. So I'm happy for him. Give him a clap, Phil. All right. David Culley, he's the man. He's one of the nicest people ever.
Yeah, he is.
Loved him.
My overall prediction with this team, they're probably not going to win more than 4 games. They have a great plethora of running backs, but they're old and they're kind of washed, I would say, at this point in their career. Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, David Johnson, and Rex Burkhead. They're good backs, but they were good probably, I would say, 2017? They would have a fucking monster season.
Honestly, this was a room where they just kept adding people where I was like,
doesn't make sense.
First they signed Mark Ingram. I'm like, oh, that's actually a nice fit because I think he's got a year or two left in him and he could be a workhorse. Oh, but then they bring in, I think the next move was Rex Burkhead, which, not too much of a big deal, but he'll play.
He has some spurts where he's pretty good. You know
David
what I mean?
Johnson towards the end of the year really heated up. Obviously that trade was a disgrace with the Cardinals.
God.
And
Jesus.
Bill O'Brien, thank God he's out. That's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed.
That's exactly why he's out.
Yeah. And don't forget the Tunzel trade.
My God.
Then Philip Lindsay gets brought into the picture, who I'm surprised the Broncos didn't bring him back. He's definitely a good player. He's a guy who's meant to be in a committee.
Yeah, he's young, too.
But it's just a crowded room now. So it's just now I don't want to invest in this running back room for fantasy. I don't want to invest in them at all. There's 4 guys who could legitimately have fantasy value. I'm out.
I'll be honest. I don't have any value in the Texans. I don't want anybody on the Texans.
Yeah,
I don't want their running backs. I don't want Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. Kiki Cutie?
No,
Jordan
I don't
Akins?
want him. He could play Jordan Akins when he has a quarterback. He actually is pretty decent.
I don't mind him.
No, I don't mind him. Do I think he's a top 10 fantasy play? No, but he's a nice streaming option if your top tight end is out for a week. But I don't see this team winning more than 4 games. That's
they're
going to
win the number 1 pick of the draft. That's what they're winning.
Probably. And that's probably what they're hoping. So they can trade Deshaun, get the number 1 pick, get their quarterback for the future, and rebuild.
And and then hopefully at least Davis Mills is good enough to be a backup. That's the best case scenario. And then you will have multiple first-round picks to build around.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's not even worth going into them. They are just not fantasy relevant. I want nothing to do with them. Maybe in a pinch in a streaming situation because Tyrod Taylor can run a little bit. But Brandon Cooks as a number 1 receiver is unacceptable. He's a great number 2 receiver at this point. He probably can still play a little bit, but you can't even trust him to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So that's it for the Texans. It's not even worth talking about.